In society today, we are being attacked constantly with inauthentic conversations. Fakeness, trying to look cool, trying to be somebody we're not. That is why the Damn Dude podcast is here to have the authentic conversations that need to be had in a way that will make you think and say, Damn Dude.
Damn, dude.
What up, everybody? What is good? What is happening? This is... Whoa. Okay, let's start that over. Welcome to the Damn Dude podcast. This is season 4, episode 6, and welcome to the show, you guys. Welcome.
Damn, dude.
So, that little chant I did in the beginning, that's it's technically part of a rain chant, which is like an Icaro, which is basically a song that heals and invokes different elements of Mother Nature. So, something that I figured, because I'm so fucking scared to sing, like, fucking terrified. I'm like, you know what? I just need to start having more fun, dude. Like, seek discomfort on purpose, so that way discomfort doesn't have to seek me in other fucking ways. You dig? So, welcome to the show, you guys. If you're new, I'm your host, California Cal, and this is the Damn Dude podcast, where we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
This show exists to help educate, entertain, and make an impact on the different contexts and perspectives that we have in life. Because I truly believe that the more access we have to different contexts and perspectives, the easier, smoother, cooler, and just flat out doper life is. You dig? So welcome to the show, you guys. Welcome. And, I kind of had to scale back on the amount of episodes I did in the last 2 weeks, I would say. I was hitting you guys with just one a week lately. And reason being is because I've just been doing all sorts of different kinds of work, and I've just been fucking everywhere, and that's what it is, you guys. Life is life, and, it is what it is. So, anyways... let's get into this, you guys. Let's get into this. This is a pretty deep episode, I would say, because, well, all these episodes are deep, I would like to think. They feel deep to me. So did I talk about, well, hold on. I'm using a new book from my last... Okay, sorry, I'm like trailing off. I'm using a new journal for season 4, and I had been using another one. So it was my first time using this new journal for season 4. So I'm kind of starting off on episode 6 in this new journal, and I'm like, wait, what notes are here or there? And I don't know. Anyways, okay, so like I said, let's get into this. So I was thinking about, as we've been growing and becoming more conscious, I would say, as a universal whole, like a whole collective of consciousness, as our universal consciousness expands together. So meaning, an example of what universal consciousness is, or how that occurs, if that sounds crazy to you, is, for example, right now, we all are like pretty used to iPhones and like Wi-Fi and, just these invisible signals that go through the air. And it's like, you can send me a picture of yourself right now from across the world, right? Like, that's crazy. But we all agree that that's possible, I should say. And we're capable of doing it. And the average Joe is capable of doing it. Like, the average motherfucker can just, like, you don't even have to be smart by any measure to be able to send a picture of yourself to somebody on the other side of this planet. Now, if you were to go back to fucking I don't know, even as far as is like shit, you could go to 1990 and people will still be blown the fuck away. But let's say you went to like 1920 and you're like, look, I can send a video of all of us right now in color. Boom, send. What the fuck? That's devil shit. You fucking sorcerer. This, like, so all this crazy shit, right? And so it's like that. So what I'm getting at, the example is, our universal consciousness at this point in life agrees that we can do that. All of our consciousness is expanded and elevated to the point where we all agree on that, because you can do it. You can see it. Now, before we couldn't do that, the universal consciousness was not to that point. So now when a motherfucker like Steve Jobs or whoever the fuck is like, yo, we're going to create this device where it's fucking a calculator, a camcorder, an encyclopedia, a fucking library, a teacher, everything, right? Entertainment, every fucking damn thing is in this fucking phone. You can make friends on the phone. That's crazy. Like, you can literally go and look at pictures of people and fucking be like, oh, this guy looks cool. Let's talk to them. Let's whatever, right? That's crazy. But when people were saying that back in what, like the 70s, 80s, 90s, like, oh, we're developing the technology to do this. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, right. You know? So that, okay, if I go down that, I'm going to go down another tangent. Anyways, so as our universal consciousness expands, as we all believe that more things are possible, so the way that I see life and nature kind of as a whole is, and how this relates to the universal consciousness, is that plants are our oldest form of technology. Plants and our spirit. And I believe and have experienced and seen and learned and conducted and been a part of in many ways the healing and the technology that the plants offer. The thing is we've kind of gone this other direction where we think technology is like wires and cables and circuit boards and motherboards and all this shit, which, yes, but let's scale it back a bit. When you zoom out, it's like a fucking iPhone, basically, I mean, not basically, it really did, just through evolution, came from plants. The idea and the ability, and nature, I should say, plants and nature, because plants, nature, air, wind, water, fire, and spirit, which is the fifth element, they all communicate, and they are all on a grid, and they all communicate the same way your fucking Wi-Fi, your 4G, your fucking AM, FM signal, whatever. The way that they all connect, our consciousness, the plants, the energy of the plants, the technology, the spirit, the essence of the plants, the essence of the wind, the nature, everything carries, it's all on a grid. So basically, when, for example, if you were to go do an ayahuasca ceremony out in the jungles, it's very often that you're able to see the grid of life. And you're like, oh shit, I see how every piece of energy connects from here to here, here to here, here to here. And you can see where there's blockages in people. You can see when somebody's cleared something and they literally just fucking puke up black shit and now they're healed and they're lighter and they're this new fucking person. It's like you've just expanded your consciousness backwards almost, which is a good thing, because backwards, I'm meaning back to nature, back to the source. So it's the thing is, the source of life has all the technology built into it already, because we built a fucking iPhone and all of its capabilities out of wind, air, water, fire, and the fifth element, which is the spirit of life, the essence of life, right? So it's like these signals go through the element, all the elements, and particularly the fifth element, which is the essence of life. And that's why you can send, it's like you can teleport an image, a video of yourself across the world in a fucking instant, because of the technology and power of that ether, that realm, that essence, right? So this is the same thing when I talk about 3D versus 4D realms, right? It's like right here on Earth, with the things you look at and that are physical are in the 3D world. All the other things are in the fourth dimension and higher. So, for examples, prayers and thoughts and a lot of those will come and go and filter through 4D, through the fourth dimension. There's other elements where we keep going higher, but right now that's pretty much where I'm at, I would say, is I'm very well versed in the fourth dimension at this point. And that can sound crazy as fuck, but it's like, as the universal consciousness expands, you're going to find out that this podcast, these conversations, other people who are having these types of conversations and tapping into this, as well as like new breeds of music which incorporate music and sounds from original tribal music, which comes from Pachamama, comes from the plants, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, the sun, the moon, right? Like all of these things. So the songs that come from Mother Nature, Pachamama, are the Icaros. And songs of the like. Each culture has their own version, but I'm versed in Icaros, which come from the Incan people in South America, from the Quechuan people from the Amazon, and people who are doing this and the such, people who are creating healing music, positive mantras, positive vibes. It's only growing in popularity. So that's the thing, is like, right now, a lot of us who are just spitting real fucking deep ass shit, it's like people are scared to trust it. They don't know if it's real, if it's crazy, if it's this, it's that, because it's not necessary. It's kind of growing in popularity, but what's happening is that we're all going to discover and see that it's all going to tune this way. And if you're not jumping aboard all this real shit, you're going to fall away. You're going to get lost in the sauce. Your health is going to decline. Things like that. And I'm not putting that on anybody. More so, I'm just saying, like, if we don't evolve and tap into the elements of nature which heal and bring us up and uplift us and step us into our godliness, into our power, into our highest self, into our spirit, dude, like, that's what we want to do, right? So it's like, people will soon be able to digest all this content. And that's something that is like, I've been noticing so much, is like, when Yamamoto told me that before, is like, dude, like, once it becomes like, once people know how to digest what I'm saying or how this is happening or whatever, like, that's when shit just hits. And it's like, dude, fuck yeah. That element of like people being able to vibe with it and get it deeper and deeper, it's like for me, I know, okay. So like for me, listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony, that's like always been my favorite rap group, always, no matter what, to the fullest. And why I enjoyed it so much is because musically, I don't need to listen to the lyrics for it to sound good. Like the way they're harmonizing sounds so cool to me, with the beat and just how they're fucking spitting it, the rhythm, like everything, right? And then as I grew older, it's like I'm listening deeper to what they're saying and what they're rapping and all this. I'm like, oh shit, this is actually a really good message. At the core of it, they kind of like use the negative shit to kind of like blast it out and then like reel you in with more positive lyrics in between, like these hooks. And it's just like, so I'm realizing, okay, these are things I don't want to be repeating for myself. So I've been switching the music I listen to, how I listen to it, what I'm taking from it. So what happened was, as time went on, it just became more and more digestible to me. I knew how to listen different as my own consciousness expanded and grew. So then I'm able to like digest the content. And I'm realizing and I'm seeing over and over and over that a lot of things that people who are really influential, really powerful, really tapped the fuck in and are operating from a very high spiritual level, it's just not popular yet. But what's going to happen is you just have to keep doing it long enough. Because also what's happening is that people are scared to be fans. You know? And it's like, well, why are people scared to be fans? Because they don't know if you're going to be here in the next fucking 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, right? It's like, that's why people are fans of Michael Jackson, because you can still be a fan of his forever. He's just done enough to be a legend like that. And then you look at people who just, I don't know what happened, right? Whether they stopped or they're just not into it or you don't hear them anymore. Like, who knows what happened, right? But that's the thing, is like, what if, like, for example, for those of you though, like, and this is no shade in any direction. I have no idea where this individual is now or what they're doing or how successful he is or anything. But just looking back, it's like, all right, let's say you were to be, if you were into hip hop and rap and you were to become a fan of Mims, the dude is saying, "This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot." Like, what if you were the biggest fan of him when that came out and whatever other songs he had at the time when he was popping? That now it's like, well, fuck, I wanted music for the next. Where's your album this year? Where's your album this year? Where's your, and it's like, fuck, like, and like I said, I don't even know if he's making music or not anymore, but it's just like, I haven't heard or seen anything at all, personally. And I love that song. I thought that song was fucking cool. But it's like that, or Jaquan, it's like, where'd they go? Like, man, I still wanted music. Like, what happened, So it's like, people are scared to be fans because people are scared to invest in themselves and fucking keep going long enough. So what happens is people will find a spiritual home inside of us, or us who are making and broadcasting some sort of message or creation, and we're broadcasting it. We're putting it out there. It's like they often will find a spiritual home inside of that broadcast. And if you get how deep that is, you get how deep that is. The same way that like people will find a spiritual home inside of the broadcast of the NBA, inside of the NFL. For some men, that's like the manliest, most primal they'll ever be, is yelling at a football game on the TV screen, right? And it's like, so if that's your spiritual home where you're like as a man especially, like what, it's like, who's finding a home in your spiritual broadcast, in your broadcast? Because your broadcast is a version of a spiritual extension of you, whether you believe in or like to hear that or not. So, you know what I mean? And if that's not true, then explain everything that you can't see in between everything, right? So, you can't. It was my point. So, and there's a couple things I'm going to tie back into everything I just shared. So, here's the other piece of all of this to kind of tie this together. It's like, all right, well, because we are all fans of some kind of music or show or fucking something, right? We're all fans of something in some version. We have preferences. We enjoy this a little more than this. This is more entertaining than this, whatever, right? There's different things that we vibe with. And if you are on the path of expanding your spirituality, expanding your consciousness, you're healing your trauma, getting to the root of like the deep shit you can't see or consciously think of, then it's like, that's the shit. And that's the reason that people would, sit for ceremony, partake in plant medicines, participate in fasting, participate in different healing modalities, meditating, tapping in with yourself, praying, practicing gratitude. So if you're on that path and you're not like, whatever, this is boring, when you hear those things, you're like, ooh, shit, okay, how do I do this? Or how do I expand that? Or like, fuck yeah, I know what this guy's talking about, or something like that. Like, when you're searching for the person to kind of be a part of if you're being a part of their broadcast and it does something to your spirit, I think that also when we're searching and looking for new people to invest in mentally, spiritually, time-wise, to become a fan, because it takes a lot of dedication to become a fan of somebody. It's a lot, you're like gearing out so much shit towards that. So that's why I appreciate anybody who's a fan of me, because I go off on some crazy shit, it's not crazy, but it can sound very crazy. And the people who it resonates with, they're like, oh, yeah, dude, like, I fuck with that tough. Like, okay, cool. And I recognize in those people that they're powerful, open creators in this world, and people who are open to creating and being their highest self and the best version of themselves. So what I want to talk about is what to watch out for when, especially if you're picking like a ceremony host, if you're picking a spiritual guide, a spiritual teacher, anything like that, just anything that's going to expand your consciousness, even if it's like any version of like self-help, self-motivate, like personal development, anything like that. And I will tell you, if you're getting into the world of personal development, that is a spiritual journey. It really is, because as soon as you start doing that, it's like, why do you think you're trying to better yourself? Who's telling you that you should better yourself? What bigger thing and purpose is telling you that, bro, you should listen to this, you should better yourself? Like, fuck, okay, that's your fucking spirit. So what to watch out for when picking somebody is like the person conducting the space, and this could be meditation retreats, it could be like sound healing, sound baths, this could be ayahuasca ceremony, this could be any version of a ceremony, mushroom ceremony, combo ceremony, marijuana ceremony, breathwork ceremony, cacao ceremony. Like, there's all sorts, right? Moon ceremony, all these things. And it's like, you can think it's corny and whatever, but it's like, there's nothing fucking corny about a real ass ceremony, because it's like, you're going to tell me that's corny? All right, what happens when your mom or your best friend, your dad, your brother, your sister, what happens when they die and you're at their funeral? What is that? What are you doing there? Why do you care to be there? You're participating in ceremony, right? So it's like, imagine how powerful it is to participate in ceremony on your own fucking terms without having to show up to either a wedding or a funeral.
Damn, dude.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, there's a lot of fucking snakes in this world. I don't want to call it an industry. That's not even close to what it needs to be looked at as. And anybody who's doing it that way, they're off. There's nothing wrong with a person getting paid for what they're doing, for their materials, for their services. That is okay within what's in reason. So what to watch out for is the person conducting any version of a ceremony can only offer as much healing to you as they've healed in themselves. So outside of that, they're likely broadcasting their pain and insecurities onto you. So that's where it gets tricky, because it's like, well, fuck, how do I know if this is one of those people or not? Excuse me. I would say the biggest thing, number one, is your gut instinct. Not the group's instinct, not the whoever's instinct, your gut fucking instinct. Because there's been times in just different scenarios in life where I had the gut instinct on something, and then everybody's in agreement over something else, and then I'm like, fuck, and then like I sell myself out, and I'm like, and then I just go with the group, and I'm like, oh, motherfucker, like I knew I was right, like I fucking knew it. I don't do that very often these days, but like, it's definitely happened, right? I'm on the path, I'm fucking going, I'm trying to learn. So, number one, your gut instinct, not the group fucking chatter. That's always the most important thing to go to look for in these persons, in these people. The other thing is buzzwords. Like, buzzwords versus real life examples. Like, I know for me, as somebody who hosts ceremonies, if you're going to ask me shit, I'm not going to give you buzzwords. I'm going to talk to you like a real motherfucker and be like, dude, this is how my experience is. This is what I've observed. And I'm going to share all the good, the bad, the ugly, right? And I think if your person's not willing to do that, that's just a red flag. That doesn't mean it's an absolute no, because sometimes that person is, I don't know, assessing, doing their own thing. But more so, it's like when people use buzzwords way too much, it's just a huge red flag. Like, for example, oh man, I'm just getting so many downloads about such and such. That this day and age, that is a very scary word for people to be throwing around. Oh, just got such a download. Like, oh, got a major download, bro. Like, yes, getting spiritual downloads is absolutely fucking real. At the same time, just throwing the buzzwords out, it's like, all right, it's lacking authenticity, and I don't fuck with things that lack authenticity. So, run and tell that, homeboy. So the other thing with this is their intentions. Find out their intentions. The conversation beforehand with this individual will basically tell you fucking everything. Your instinct, find out intentions, have a conversation. Watch for all the fucking buzzwords. Your highest self manifesting. Ugh. You can use those words authentically, but you can tell when a motherfucker's just saying that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can just feel it, dude. You can fucking feel it. So that's the other thing. Watch out for all the buzzwords, shit like that. People who are like doing fake channeling, that shit's weird to me, dude. Like, because channeling is so real. Like, you could tell if a person's actually channeling. If they've got their eyes closed and they're like, there's a certain vibe and tone to when somebody's legitimately channeling, and you could just fucking tell. And when they're doing that, you fucking listen. Don't ask questions, just keep listening. No matter how offended you are or whatever, because it's for you, not for them. They don't even remember. Usually when a person channels information for you, they have no fucking clue what they just said to you after the fact. So the other thing to watch out with, if you don't get a good gut instinct, if you don't really figure out who and where they learned from, if you don't trust it, if it feels weird, the story's kind of just too buttery, meaning it's just too smooth and perfect, and it's like there was no hardships or anything scary, like that's a red flag. With people who are like that, these people who will host ceremony, who do spiritual healing or spiritual work, not oftentimes, but there's at least half the motherfuckers out there who are major energy leeches and who are major perverts. Like, just be careful, protect yourself, make sure you know you have a safe environment, make sure everybody's fucking on board, make sure everything's fucking cooling, because that person the host should be able to create a safe space and a container for you to do healing however it looks and sounds without them getting triggered, right? And it's like, I know for myself as somebody who's hosted, there's times where people are going through some shit and they're like interrupting me and fucking trying to sing over me and just do different, and I'm like, I catch myself in my head for a moment. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? But then I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, oh, you're doing the healing. Let this shit out. It's like, I would rather not be interrupted. But sometimes it just is what it is, and people are going to fucking heal, right? So it's like, somebody who's going to be judgy, don't fuck with them. If you're not allowed to fucking pee yourself, have boogers, cry, all of that in front of them, don't fuck with them. Like, have somebody who's going to really fucking care for you authentically as a human being. And that's really what to fucking look for when you're picking or getting into that sort of practices. So another piece to this, which I believe is so fucking important, is to understand our spiritual roles. And I've talked about this before, and I think it's really important, because when we understand our spiritual roles, we can then begin to start defining it, shaping and sculpting it, and being able to really know where we fucking stand on earth and up above in our 4D world. And for those who go into the 5, 5th, 6th, that's too far for me at this point. Well, not too far. It's non-comprehensible to me at this point. There's certain elements that I fully get, but I can't claim that I know anything. 4D, I do know a lot about. And I do know that in my 4th dimensional world, my spiritual role, where my spirit travels and goes and collects information and does its thing, I know my spiritual role is that I am a spiritual warrior of the light. And I will fight and ride and die for that shit. More so, I will live for that. Right? And it's like, that's my spiritual role. You can always count on me to be a warrior of the light and what is good and what is right. And that's what I know I am here for. And and I'm also stepping into the spiritual role of being a spiritual healer, a spiritual guide. I don't really want to say healer, more so guide. A guide, because you do your own healing. I can only remove and help so much. More so, it's like having a guide to guide you through. Somebody who knows the avenue, somebody who understands the fucking road, basically, like different avenues and channels. So I see that it's like, I'm a warrior of the light, and within that, helping guide people through into their darkness, into their light. And I know that, like, because I know my role, I can travel around up there. And this is the shit they probably don't want us fucking talking about, to be honest. But it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Like I said, I stand for this. And it's like, dude, I'll tell you one thing. If we're tight, if I appear in your dreams, you can pretty much count on it being on purpose. Because when you understand that realm, you can kind of you can fully travel, and you can leave messages in people's dreams and just drop a little note in their mailbox, and they wake up and go, oh yeah, we talked about that last night. And I'm like, yep, yes we did. Yo, it's some real shit, dude. Say what you want, whatever, dude. It's fucking real. So, oh, you guys hear the birds? That was beautiful. So lastly, I wanted to talk about this, which is I had this fucking moment the other day where I was brushing my teeth, listening to Icaros. And Icaros are songs that come from the plants that the tribal people use in the jungles, the natives, that they use to heal and they use for ceremony and spiritual, let's just say ceremony, and life lessons. So for me, like, my destiny flashed before my eyes while I was brushing my teeth listening to Icaros the other day. I was standing there and the Icaro was just fucking hitting, and I was just like, ooh, it was hitting, and I was just like, oh my goodness. And I just stopped, and like, I traveled through all the fucking time and space seemingly, and I just I closed my eyes, and I don't know, I was not there. I went up, and as I was going, I fucking landed in like second or third grade me. I want to say second grade. No, I'm sorry, third grade. Because in second grade, I stopped talking for that year. So in third grade, I'm sitting at the lunch table, and I remember a bunch of people talking. I don't remember who it was. I just remember chatter all around. And what everybody was talking about was, are you going to get married? Are you going to have kids? What are you going to be when you grow up? And they were like, these couple of kids were asking everybody in the circle. And then they got to me, and I was like, what I remember was all the boys were like, no, ew, girls, yuck, I'm not getting married, I'm not gonna have kids, ew. And I was like, yeah, yes I am. And I remember everybody looked at me weird because I said what was different than everybody else. And they're like, what the fuck? And then they're like, what are you gonna be when you grow up? I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna be rich as fuck. I'm gonna be super rich. And they're like, yeah, but how? I was like, I don't know, I'm just going to be. It's just going to happen. I really don't know exactly. It's just, I know it. And they're like, what? Like, okay, yeah, fuck, this guy's weird. You know, and it's like, I was like, something life-changing happened to me in that moment. I was like, I'm fucking different, dude. Like, what the fuck? Why was my answer against everybody else's? And then why didn't I just go with what everybody said? Like, what the fuck, you know? And then it was like, that was a transition in third grade. Then in fourth grade, I met and saw all the gangsters who were older than me. And I was like, oh, they look like me. They got the same look on their face as me. These are the people I want to fuck with. They got respect. They got girls. They got fucking money. They got cool clothes. They got all this shit, right? And it's like, not understanding at what cost, you know, they obtained a lot of these things at. But at the same time, I saw a respect. I saw a certain code. I saw a certain level of protection. I saw a certain level of authenticity. It wasn't like, oh, we're trying to hide how I feel or whatever. It's just like, hey, what's up? Like, you know? And so as I'm brushing my teeth, remember, this is all inside of me brushing my teeth. And the power of these sugs. I was sitting there, I'm like, dude, what I saw when I was a kid, I couldn't it lacked context because it didn't exist for me or the world yet. I mean, I guess it existed for the world, but not for me. So, and what it was podcasting, was having conversations. Because it was like, that was my greatest fear, is to talk to people. And sometimes I still freak the fuck out in the middle of a conversation. Like, I just do. I fucking can't help it. And it's okay, because I'll still fucking just do my best, and I don't care, judge me. Like, it is what it is. I'll just fucking be there. If I'm weird or shaking or sweating, or like I drank too much coffee, or I fucking smoked too much, or I did that, like whatever. Being responsible, that's one thing, right? But I do have certain triggers when I talk to people that I just like freak the fuck out, because like 6-year-old, 7-year-old me is just like, oh shit, you know? And then I'm like, no, fuck that. Like, be present, right? So I get present, I'm cooling. And so what I saw was me having conversations with people. And I didn't realize under what context or how or why or what that meant exactly. But it was like, I'm going to be some kind of like actor or news reporter or something like that, you know? And I had gotten into like doing auditions for acting a little bit and modeling. And I was pretty fucking good, honestly. Like, I got first place out of like 10,000 people in this acting gig. And there's, you know, a whole bunch of different shit, whatever. But I saw that, and there was no such thing as podcasts until a little while ago, right? And I remember, shit, even like maybe 5 years ago at this point, maybe 6, I had posted on Facebook, guys, what is a podcast? I don't get it. I was Googling it, and it's like, oh, it's where people do this. And I'm like, all the information it was giving me, I'm like, this isn't a good enough answer. Like, I don't accept this as an answer to just fucking move forward and say I know what this is. I'm like, so I asked Facebook, I'm like, you guys, what the fuck is a podcast? Like, what is it? I don't get it. And people are explaining like, oh, it's like a radio show where people talk more free and can kind of say whatever they want. And I'm like, well, what? Like, I didn't get it. I'm like, what? Okay. Like, what's the difference of just having a show? Like, who are these people? You know, it's like, I don't want to just go listen to some fucking guy in his basement talking about fucking aliens. And I mean, maybe a little bit, but like, no, but okay, no, but really, it's like, all like on a podcast was either people sitting there going, oh yeah, yeah, dude, I got the new Nike SBs and they're fucking sick, and like, or it's like somebody being like, oh my gosh, the aliens are coming, you better collect as much pig urine and deer antlers as possible and protect yourself and spin in circles 7 times. It's like, it was like, I'm like, to me, what I took it as a ghettoer, shittier version of AM radio. I'm like, why do I want to listen to that? Like, that sounds really fucking whack. Like, hey, nah, dude. Like, it's like there's been times it's like I'm driving through the desert and I want to listen to something like back in the day, because now we got MP3 and CDs and fucking phone towers and cell service in the desert. This was even before cell phones, honestly, or like before anybody had cell phones, I should say. Cruising around the desert. And it's like, I want to listen to something. And it's like, all right, fuck it. The FM radios doesn't work because there's no signal in the desert. AM radios just come across randomly from Mexico, from Arizona, from wherever the fuck. And it's like, the coolest thing that I can find on AM radio was always mariachi music. And I will fucking bump some mariachi music. I'm telling you, like, I don't give a fuck. That shit's cool to me. And so that's what I'm picturing. I'm like, why would I want to? I don't want to listen to that. That sounds really fucking weird. And so I realize, fast forward, the people who I've had on my podcast are like dope ass motherfuckers. I haven't had a lot of guests. Almost all the majority of the guests were in season 1. And then it's just been like here and there after that. But they've been really fucking good. Like, really good. And I kind of like holding that as a really special thing. It's like, yo, you can't just be anybody and be on this podcast. Like, there has to be a certain resonance. Like, I don't know. And that's no offense to anybody, because there's a lot of people who ask to be on the show, and I'm like, I'm like, all right, for sure. Like, well, let me think. Like, and then I think about it, and I go over it, and I'm just like, I don't know what we're going to talk about, or what, it's like, I'm not a good conversationalist with people I don't know, really. Like, I struggle. Maybe that means I should do it. I don't know. That's just me kind of thinking on a personal level. But anyway, so like I said, back to brushing my teeth. Listening to Icaros, brushing my teeth, and it just hits me. It's like, dude, I'm here to have these conversations that need to be fucking had with the dope people of the world, and share all these lessons I worked so fucking hard to go earn and share, and help do my part of healing the people, right? And it's like, if we can't sit for ceremony, then I can reach you with this. And that was the other piece of my destiny, which I realized was to be a ceremony host. And I always had this vision of like, I'm gonna be like some version of I don't know exactly, like, I don't want to say celebrity, but like very influential people where I help them heal and ground and recenter and refocus. And by the means of hosting ceremonies, helping them go and guide them through their things that they need to go be the most successful people they can be, as well as to have the conversations outside of that, right? So that's something that I think is really fucking cool. And I'm seeing now, and it's like, oh, this is why when I started my podcast, I'm like, yeah, what we're going to do is interview musicians, athletes, and entertainers and get the real fucking story out of them, right? And it's like, really, anybody who's kind of up to shit is who I want to talk to. It kind of doesn't really matter, And as I get my head more on my shoulders in terms of like stepping back out into life, I've just been doing healing over the last few years. And I'm at the point where I'm like, yo, I'm stepping out again, man. Like, I'm breaking out of my cocoon. Like, dude, like, so it's like, fuck, I've just forgotten that it's like, I am that guy. Like, I got this shit. Like, it's like, I just forgot how fucking capable I am and how boss I am at shit. It's like, dude, what the fuck? All right. And it's like, sometimes when you go into the cocoon and you got to come back out, you have to rediscover all these elements of your power, of yourself, of your magnitude, your energy, your capabilities, your swing, And I know that it's like the true essence of me, when I walk into a room or a building, it's very much felt. And it's like, it's just been so tapered off in the last few years. I've just fucking kind of just pulled it all in, because I'm like, I can't let anybody into this circle right now. Like, my energy is not in a place where it's all the way healed and grounded. It's like my electricity is not grounded all the way at this point, and I'm in the works of fucking cutting away the whatever, trimming the shit, the panels, whatever, connecting the wires to ground it. And it's like, if I try and fucking touch anybody else right now, I'm gonna fucking zap them. So it's like, let me get myself grounded. And it's like, if I interact with people on this level where I would typically have patience, but now I don't, because I'm in the midst of doing this work. When you're doing work and people are interrupting, it becomes irritating. Then fights happen and disagreements and this and that. And it's like all this extra shit. And I know better. So I'm like, all right, let me get myself grounded. Let me just fucking just ooze out on the floor, basically, and then fucking pick up my fucking Humpty Dumpty shells and my fucking egg yolk and put myself back on the wall again. And as I'm like climbing back up the wall, I feel like I finally fucking put my shell together. I'm like putting my shoes on is like what it feels like to climb back up on this wall. I'm in the step of like putting my shoes on, combing my hair, like that sort of, you know what I'm saying? And, well, not in that order. It would more so be combing my hair and then putting shoes on after. Okay, anyways. Like, so as I feel myself stepping back up onto the podium, onto the pedestal, like to take my fucking position, I feel it, man. I feel it. 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 And I can hear it in my voice. I can feel it in my swing. I can hear it in my rebuttals to people. I can feel it in my like alertness, in my outward, my outward conversation and energy. And it's like, it's been all turned in for the last while. And now I'm turning it back out. And it's like, let's fucking go. And I really needed to step back into the cocoon to obtain and really step into my spiritual role and then move forwards with it. Right? So it's like, for those of you who are also stepping into and discovering your spiritual role, trust your gut instinct, meditate, pray, talk to the different directions. I've talked about that before. East for thinking, south for structure, west for light and creation, and to the north for faith and hope and gratitude. Use those. Look to them. Just fucking close your eyes, be with them. That shit is powerful, man. And then thank them and just take your lesson and keep going. Right? So, without further ado, gonna go get back to life right now so I could close this podcast down. I got a lot of shit to do today. I don't know if this was a long ass episode or not. I feel like it was. Anyways, this one felt good. I'm proud of this one. I like this one. So yeah, you guys, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Practice gratitude. That's the move for that attitude. You dig. Diggy Diggler. Whoa, hold on a sec. What's happening here? Boom, okay. All right, you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. It's been good. It's been real as always. On 38, touch your face. Not the beach, not the hill. And the last one's a pistol. And it's gonna be me and you.
Damn, dude.
I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful motherfucking day. And please be sure to tell a friend 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 to tell their friend to tell their best friends, cousins, uncles, cousins, redneck, shoe shining, duck whistle constructing neighbor about the Damn Dude motherfucking podcast. You dig? I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful motherfucking day. This is the Damn Dude podcast, season 4, episode 6. Much love. Peace.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.